Hello and welcome back to How About That Crypto. You're watching your almost daily crypto news and updates with your host, Bitcoin Stylist. I'm here throughout the week and I keep you up to date with all the latest on crypto and Web3. Today's news is going to be all about all the investments going into crypto custody by big names, big banks. And Ripple is thinking about buying Celsius, and Mark Cuban is being sued for operating a Ponzi scheme with Voyager Digital, which we've been talking a lot about. So a little bit about the companies involved in the bankruptcies like Voyager and Celsius, but also this thing going on with custody of crypto. The banks seem to be really seem to want to offer this as a service. So let's jump right in, and I'm going to share my screen. So if you're listening on podcast, please just use the links below to follow along. And just to remind everybody, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, and you can use the links below to do your own research. All right, so let's get started. Okay. All right, so we're going to start right now with crypto custody. So as I've reported in the past, BlackRock and Coinbase created this relationship. And so BlackRock has their own digital platform for investing. It's used by other wealth managers, insurance funds, hedge funds, and banks, and it's used to help them do institutional investing. And according to Kathy Woods, an interview I watched yesterday with Kathy Woods, she said there's about $40 trillion on the Aladdin platform that BlackRock owns and licenses out. And now Coinbase is just connected to the Aladdin platform, so all those customers can have access to crypto. Specifically, the contract, the deal is only for Bitcoin. And that makes sense because Bitcoin is the only crypto that has been deemed not a security by the head of the SEC, Gary Gensler. And remember that he is all about going after securities. He wants all crypto to be a security so that it can be under their purview, whether he is right or wrong. And that's a whole debate going on about that. That is what's going on. So right now, Bitcoin's safe. Now BlackRock can offer Bitcoin to their customers through their Aladdin platform that's connected to Coinbase. So Coinbase is going to custody it. Now, big thing is this custodying. So what you're looking at right now is an article on the Daily Hodl, and the title is Banking Giant Barclays to Invest in $3 billion Crypto Custody Firm. So this just says Sky News reports that the British banking giant Barclays is buying a stake in a Europe-based crypto asset company. According to Sky News report, sources familiar with the matter say Barclays is looking to invest millions of dollars in Copper, a firm aiming to provide a secure infrastructure for institutions looking to invest in crypto. Yes, the name of the company is Copper, which I thought was interesting. So it goes on and it gives more information. It's incorporated in Switzerland. They have offices London, New York, Singapore, Dubai, and Zurich. But at the end of the day, that's the story. So Barclays is looking at investing millions of dollars into a crypto custody firm. The next story is basically the same one, but this is BNP Paribas. It says this is a French international banking group, BNP Paribas. So for those of you who don't know the previous story, Barclays, it's a massive, massive bank. And now BNP Paribas is a massive banking group. And they're exploring crypto custody through a partnership with Swiss institutional digital asset custody firm Medico. So this is an article in coinspeaker.com, and it is by Ubukun Ogundare, and it is called BNP Paribas partners with Medico to enter crypto custody space. So a big remember this part. There's a big challenge with the whole concept of custody. When you buy crypto on Coinbase or any other platform, you don't own that crypto. You are lending them that crypto, and if they go under, then they owe you like they would owe you debt. But like in a stock, when you have stocks on say you have Fidelity or Charles Schwab, and you go on to their app or their website, you log in, you buy stocks, they have a whole setup to where they custody and they hold on to that stock for you. Well, that is not really a thing in crypto. So a lot of these banks, they want, like, they're dealing with high net worth individuals, and those people do not want someone else holding it unless they're holding it for them separate in their own account. So the whole concept is that these custody companies is that you're going to be able to buy Bitcoin or crypto, depending on the jurisdiction, the rules, etc. But you'll be able to buy crypto and it'll be held in your name. So if the company that's holding it and that you're trading with goes under, you don't lose your assets. And if you have money on Celsius or Voyager, and then you know exactly what I mean. And I know what I mean because I had money on Voyager and now I'm considered a creditor. Like, I loaned them money, but I thought my money could have been, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter what I thought. So you understand the point here, though, that, and if you don't, please leave a comment below and let me know. I'm going to keep moving on. So this says that this BNP Paribas is exploring this crypto custody through a partnership with Medico. It says the matter was revealed by 3 people who have knowledge about the partnership deal. Despite the volatility in the crypto market, several banking giants are expanding their services to include crypto custody, which should probably be the title of today's episode. Maybe it will be. I don't know. However, the bank's move into crypto custody is significant as BNP Paribas Securities boasts of almost $13 trillion in assets under custody. So the reason why this is really big and a lot of people are talking about it is, other than the fact that banks are figuring out the adoption, how they're going to adopt this technology and give access to their customers. But once they figure it out, then that's $13 trillion worth of money that a percentage of it will be allocated towards crypto, specifically Bitcoin. So obviously that's my opinion, and it's but it makes a lot of sense. As soon as those banking clients can get access to Bitcoin, it makes sense that some are going to buy, or maybe all will put like 1% or 0.5% or just a small amount, just get a little exposure to all that volatility and that potential upside. So this is happening. All right. And that's my prediction. So we can check it. It's recorded right here. The deal between BNP Paribas and Medico came amid the multiple partnerships of the Swiss firm with other major banks. Recently, Medico entered into agreement with French lender Societe Generale on a custody tech deal. It is evident that the Swiss digital asset custody is the go-to provider for companies seeking to debut in the crypto space. Okay, so now, and it also says right here that Citigroup selected Medico to develop its digital asset custody. So this Medico is creating all these partnerships and deals with these major banks to help them figure out their crypto custody challenges. All right. So I'm going to keep moving on. I got one more piece on crypto custody. This is in Bloomberg, and it's by Hannah Miller. And the title of this article is called Blockchain Security Startup Raises $90 million Despite Crypto Winter. So remember, we are in a bear market, and this is the second time, but it's really the third story, but it's the second time we've heard this in these stories, me reading it, is that despite the prices being down, massive investments are still being made. And what are they trying to figure out? Custody, which is part of the adoption. If you want people who have a ton of money in accounts with major banks who don't want to open up their own account and manage their own money, they want someone else to do it for them. They want to pick up the phone and be like, yo, buy me some Bitcoin. And then their person in their account can tinker with their money. And that's managing someone's money. Like, that's the business of managing people's money. So those individuals with those accounts at these big banks and banking groups are going to get access to Bitcoin through and other crypto through these crypto custody agreements. So they're figuring out the piping and the infrastructure, like the behind the scenes stuff, how all this is going to work. Well, this specifically is called Halborn, And it's a blockchain security firm, and they raised $90 million. The deal is an outlier, it says this in this article, because it's an outlier in a climate where venture capital investing is in crypto startups has slowed and digital currency prices have nosedived. So that just reiterates what I just said. So I think that's an important part to understand. And they go on to say the price of crypto has nothing to do with our business. What really matters is the industry is growing, and that is 100% accurate. So you can read the whole article and more about this firm, but they're a crypto security firm. Oh, I thought there's one little thing. Okay, here we go. Check this out. People keep trying to steal cryptocurrency. Halburn has seen demand for the company's services increase over the past year as high-profile hacks have rocked the industry. The more than 100-person startup aims to prevent these exploits, such as a $620 million hack in March involving non-fungible token game Axie Infinity by assessing the code underpinning blockchain platforms for vulnerability and developing security measures. The startup even spotted a flaw in the popular MetaMask crypto wallet. That is the most popular crypto wallet out there that is a hot wallet, meaning it's like an app on your phone. And he says that they've held on to it for almost a year until they had it fixed. So, and the company works with Coinbase, Solana blockchains, Ava Labs, Avalanche. It educates non-crypto companies like Amazon.com, BNY Mellon, Nike on how to use and secure crypto. And they even advise VC firms, family offices, and banks on the risk level of crypto projects. And one of the founders says they really want to make sure they don't get hacked and lose all their money. So between figuring out custody and security in crypto, you see massive, massive investments. And why is that? Because during the gold rush, the smart people, the smart money doesn't look for gold. During the gold rush, the smart money sells axes, picks, and the things that are needed to find the gold. That's where the money is really made. Only a few people will find gold that is life-changing, but every single person looking needs a pick and an axe and a shovel. So the banking companies and the banking groups and the financial firms and major corporations like Amazon and Nike are all out there saying, hey, we need to make sure we understand this infrastructure. What is it going to take for this whole thing to be adopted? So think of it like that. So what do you think about all this? I think this is super awesome. This just kind of pays credence to, the whole concept that crypto is here and it's not going anywhere, and maybe I should buy more. That's what I think when I read this. What do you think? Please leave a comment below. I'm going to move on to our last stories. They're really quick. I just wanted to update you on some of this. So Ripple is exploring a buyout of Celsius's assets. This is in cryptobriefing.com by Mike Dalton. It says Ripple wants to buy Celsius assets, but Celsius has not responded. And then the key takeaways is Ripple is exploring the possibility of buying Celsius's assets, according to a statement from a Ripple representative. And on August 5th, Ripple's lawyers filed documents that will allow the company to take part in Celsius bankruptcy hearings. And according to this article, Ripple Labs is not a creditor, like you and I might be a creditor to Celsius or Voyager. They are not. And it says here, a spokesperson went on to say that Ripple is actively looking for opportunities to carry out mergers and acquisitions that will strategically scale the company. So we don't have any more information about that. Ripple Labs thinking about buying Celsius, his assets, to scale. So what are they planning to do with that? If you know, leave a comment below or have any more information. And I'm moving on to the very last story. This is kind of interesting. Mark Cuban accused of operating a Ponzi scheme with Voyager Digital by Jordan Finiseth on Kitco.com. This says here that billionaire investor and Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban has been named in a class action lawsuit alongside the bankrupt crypto brokerage firm Voyager Digital, which alleges the pair operated what amounts to a Ponzi scheme. And it goes on to say that Mark Cuban was basically promoting it, saying it's as close to risk-free as you're going to get in the crypto universe. I want to read this section right here. Cuban Ehrlich. I don't even know who is Ehrlich. Uh, Voyage chief. Looks like maybe the head of Voyager Digital chief Stephen Ehrlich and Cuban facilitating the firm's false and misleading promises. Okay, so Cuban and Ehrlich, the head chief of Voyager Digital, and Mark Cuban went to great lengths to use their experience as investors to dupe millions of Americans into investing, in many cases, their life savings into the deceptive Voyager platform and purchasing Voyager Earn Program accounts, or EPAs, which are unregistered securities, according to the lawsuit. The lawsuit also highlighted false claims about Voyager's insurance status, with Cuban making statements along the lines of assets being, quote, as safe as they were in a bank, unquote, which some took to mean that deposits were insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. It got to the point where the FDIC eventually ordered Voyager to stop making false or misleading statements. Overall, plaintiffs in the case are pursuing charges for aiding and abetting fraud, aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty, civil conspiracy, unjust enrichment, and violations of several state securities and business laws, and more. So, what do you think about all this? I think that that part is really interesting. Does Mark Cuban have liability for promoting Voyager? He was an investor. I don't know what the laws are about that. I think it's interesting. I also doubt that this will go anywhere. But what do you think? Do you think that this is, I mean, I'll keep an eye on this, but do you think that this has any legs? I don't think these type of, when the markets go down and something's new and the news is saying things and the SEC is saying things that are negative about crypto, then people who lost money are bitter and they want to sue somebody. Is that what's happening now? It looks like it a little bit, but maybe there is a violation that happened. What do you think? Let me know. Leave a comment below. All I got to say is I love all this news and I am super excited about crypto. I do not think we're out of the bear market. I actually think that we could see more downside. There's too much uncertainty in the market, but guess what I'm doing? I'm reaching underneath every mattress and in every couch cushion and putting all the extra money that I have, even if it's a little bit, into Bitcoin and Ethereum and a couple other coins. There's a list of coins I like below. You can check that out. Let me know what you're buying. Let me know what you're doing. Please leave a comment below. It helps support the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. Like, subscribe, follow, and have a good day. Have a good night. Hodl on.